when Iran is free, should the language be Romanized, just like what's happened with Kazakhstan, what's happened with Vietnam, Turkish? Would that be a good idea or would that be a dumb idea? And the last thing I'll say is Kazakhstan is doing theirs gradually, so it'll be completed by 2031. I'm not saying it would have to be done immediately. So I was wondering what your opinion is, what everyone else's is. Thank you.
I don't think that's necessary. And even if they wanted to do that, I don't know. I mean, the Iranian people have a lot of pride in keeping things local. So if there was any change in the alphabet, there might be a lot of people pushing for some going back to the ancient roots, something at least a modern version of that. I don't know if they want to go with something Western. There will probably be like if there was a change, I think there would be a lot of people would be pushing for creating a modern version of what we had in ancient times as our language. Like yeah, like go to Pahlavi script or something like that. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm not a language expert, but it's just hard for me to see if we're going from if we're moving away from something foreign to move towards something foreign to another thing that is foreign. Um, I also don't, you know, I understand that there's a lot of uh, a lot of people don't like things being Arabized and our phone, and even though our language is like not as Arabic as many other countries in the region, our font is. So many people might want to get rid of that in Iran. However, that would be like a huge cost to so many people. Um, you know, having to go through learning all of that. You know what I mean? Like especially poor people who have already been trained on how to use this language. So we basically have to get a lot of adults back into school, like a lot of adults that are busy working now have to go back to school and learn this new type of writing. I don't know, like what is the gain here? Is the gain only the national pride for and going through all of this economic hardship for the sake of national pride? I mean, it's working well. I mean, I think national pride is valuable. I don't want to dismiss the importance of national pride, but the reason why I think national pride is valuable because of the economic benefits of having a national pride. Like again, because I'm a finance student, I might be a reductionist to bringing back things to economy, but I genuinely believe that it all comes back to the economy. And even when it comes to the benefits of values of nationalism or patriotism, I always think that even if you can't measure it, it has a value that hypothetically a more brilliant mind would be able to measure it in economic terms. So everything at the end of the day comes back to the economy, even when it comes to nationalism, right? So whatever, if I support nationalism or patriotism, is because I think it has some economic value, and I think this will have some economic cost, and I don't know what the cost benefit analysis of that would look like. But again, it doesn't really. If there is, because I believe in liberty, I don't think anybody from the higher ups will be able to determine that and decide that. And in a liberal society, in a liberal, classical liberal, in a free society, I don't want people to get here butthurt when I say liberal because they think I'm talking about leftism. Like in a free society, maybe I should say free instead of liberal. In a free society, at the end of the day, the wisdom of the crowd decides which way we move towards. And I think we're going to have to see if the Iranian people are going to push for that. Like, if this happens, it shouldn't be because some higher up people decided that they want to do this. It has to be because there's a huge demand for it in this is in society to the point where politicians are pushing for it because the society is voting for representatives that are pushing for this. If that happens, then this is the beauty of liberty, because so many of these things we don't know how to do a cost benefit analysis on them. It's impossible to do a cost benefit analysis on them. So you just let the society be free and just see where their political agenda takes us, and just ride the wave of the wisdom of the crowd. And usually that gives you the best answer. So basically, the answer is I don't know if we're going to do that. I just say let the society be free and let see them where they take us. And if the Iranian people, if the wisdom of the crowd of the Iranian people want it, then let's go for it, I guess, right?
And that's fair. I mean, the other reason was like, I remember Goldie was talking about like there's no P in the alphabet. So like instead of saying Parsi, we had to say Farsi. So that was one example, but you do make
We have no,
valid.
we do
Go
have
ahead.
P. We do have the P sound in the Persian language.
You're right.
But
We do.
because because the Arabs didn't have it, they
That's
referred
it.
to
That's what it
Pars.
was.
Yeah, they referred to Parsi. It was Parsi. They referred to it as Farsi, and then it became common. But we have there are four sounds that we have in the Persian language that we don't have in the Arabic language. We say gachpaj. So the g sound, the ch sound, so GCH, p sound, like the p sound, and the j sound. The j sound, English language doesn't have that either. So the j sound, we have it in Persian, but we don't have it in Arabic, and we don't have it in English. So those are the four sounds that we have. So we took the Arabic font and we changed it some. We changed four of their letters in a way for them to respond to cover these four sounds. But we say Payande Iran. So how could you think we
True.
don't like Payande Iran? That's the play
I
sound right
just got
there.
confused. I just got a little
Yeah.
confused. I forgot,
Yeah. Yes.
the Arab part. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. All right.
Deborah, why don't you go ahead and respond?
Okay, well, Armin already got a lot of the things I was going to say, but essentially, going to Romanized language would be it would still be foreign, it'd still be like being colonized, and it used to be Pahlavi script, which is also was derived from Aramaic script, the same way that Arabic is derived from Aramaic script. So you really wouldn't get that much of a difference. Just start pronouncing the words differently instead of having to go through the cost of changing all the signage. Start calling it Parsi, not Farsi. Just change the way you say the words if you want. You don't have to go through the hassle of printing up all these books and have being a person who learned Hebrew as an adult. It's not easy for adults to learn a new language. This would be a hardship on people at a time they're already going through hardship. So I think that the idea of switching to Roman letters is not a good one. That's all.
I agree.
Samantha.
I mean, like, I don't know, because it's like I only learned how to read like the English and like Hebrew fonts or alphabets, and like I learned them both as like a little kid. But like I only learned Hebrew with like the vowels. Like I'm literally learning how to read Hebrew with like because in Hebrew like we have the dots to like as like vowels, and it's like
Nikud.
yeah. So it's like I'm literally learning how to read without the dots in the freaking Discord group, and like literally like just over like a couple of months in a Discord group that hardly anyone even uses because there's like a Hebrew Discord channel in the atheist Discord group. Like I'm able to read like entire sentences in Hebrew now that like I totally could not have read like a few months ago without the dots. That I'm like able to read now without the dots. So I don't know if it's like how much more difficult it is or
Well, I mean, so for Iranian people going off the fonts that they have right now, I
mhm.
mean, it's not about changing from dots to no dots. It's about completely switching to a whole new alphabet. Like,
Okay, so like would that be a lot more difficult or
oh yeah, it would be a lot more difficult. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Noah, if they're going to Latin font, Iranian people are familiar with that. Even the Iranian people who don't speak English, they know what the sounds are. Like when they see an
Mhm,
N, almost every Iranian knows that that makes an n sound. Like they all
mhm.
know that. So actually, that wouldn't be that difficult for most Iranians, and now that I think about it. But again, it would be more about like, well, why are we going from one foreign font to another foreign font? Like, why not? That would be the bigger resistance. You know, but again, I don't know. We'll see. Like, it's hard to speak on behalf of the people. And again, the Pahlavi script. This is the Pahlavi script that Deborah was talking about. Just wanted to show you that it would be more of a challenge to go back to this because people are not familiar with this. They're familiar with the Latin front, but they're not familiar with that. Again, it's hard. None of this we can't. This is why I don't believe in centralized authority, is because we don't know what works. We just need to keep the society free and then see where it takes us. We have to have limited limitations, which basically means the rule of law. And the rule of law should just keep the society stable, but not to the point where it ties the hands of people for them to be able to make their own decisions and their own mistakes. This is key. A lot of people want to limit the society so that they only can make the right decisions, but liberty means that you only limit them to the point where the society is stable, but you should also let them be free enough to make mistakes, because that's how you mature, by making mistakes.
They should change
Okay.
like each generation at like one letter at a time to get to the original alphabet.
I mean, yeah, but what? Okay, that would all right. I mean, if they want it, if they ask for it, but okay, all right.